All right, guys, that's it. I'm done. I'm completely done with all of this. No more. I'm tired of it. It's been one whole year since I built this, and it has been nothing but work. So I'm done with these trays down here. What, did you really think I was gonna get rid of all the birds? Come on now, guys. I can't do that. I'm done with these trays. That is it. There's been too much work every time that I have to go ahead and scrape and clean all these trays. By the way, for you guys that always think that this aviary is completely clean all the time, you can obviously see that it does get messy. I constantly have to clean it in the majority. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be installing the paper roll system in this aviary. And pretty much is going to happen is I have to install paper rolls in between every single one of these cages. So there's going to be one here, here, and down here. And pretty much the paper roll is going to run right through this gap that I left in between the cages. And that paper is going to come all the way from the back side to the front of the aviary, where we can put a trash can down here and then pull the paper roll. You see that gap all the way through? We can pull it into the trash can to get it cleaned. Once it makes it from that side all the way to this section here, we cut off, and then we have a new paper roll system. I know it may be a little bit complicated to understand, but once I get it set up, you'll kind of get the general idea. The only one that we're not going to be able to do today is probably going to be this bottom section, because in order to do the bottom paper roll system, I'm going to have to put a board or something underneath. So I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the bottom ones with the trays just to make it easier. So technically I'll only have to clean the bottom trays. I also got this new project here, which is the sink that I've been needing desperately inside of the aviary. So pretty much I got to get this hooked up and set up. That way I have running water in here. Now the center cages, unfortunately, there is no gap between them because they literally sit one on top of another. So these guys are still going to have the trays. I'll have to figure something out for these. These guys, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to do the paper rolls over here, which they have to extend past this way, and then we'll have 3 rolls, and that'll come all the way to this side where we can go ahead and pull it through this section just as in the opposite side. So let's get going. Let's go buy the paper rolls that we need, and let's start this project, because like I said, guys, I am done cleaning trays this year. Oh, I love this section. Every time I come here, I think about all the plants that I can keep inside of the aviary. Alright guys, so this is what we're looking for right here. This is what we need to buy. And these are adjustable closet racks. Or closet rods, I'm sorry. Adjustable closet rods. And this is what's going to hold pretty much the paper roll system. They are, I think it's $9.48 for 2 of them. I need 6 of them. So this is what's going to hold the paper roll system, and it already has a little clip right here where you can screw that into the wall and it'll stay straight. So you guys will see how this works once we get it home. Let's get, oops, get these. See, because originally this is what I wanted to use. I wanted to use PVC, but I don't think this is going to work as good as this metal one right here, which will be way better. So these are 17 inches long. The cages are 16 inches, so it allows perfect space for the rolls that we need to put in there. Alright, so this is where the paper's at. The only problem is we need to find one that has a diameter on the inside that's big enough to fit those poles that we're going to be installing on the wall. This is a very thick paper, and this is what we try to get, something that's thick so that when it gets wet it doesn't get messed up. But the only problem is the interior diameter is not as big as the tube that we want to put on the wall. So unfortunately, that's not going to work out. We need to find something that's a little bit bigger. Alright guys, so this is the paper that we're going to use for the bottom of the cages. As you can see, it is 36 inches by 100 feet. So this is 100 foot long. We're going to need 2 rolls of these, and we're going to have to cut these rolls straight down the center so we can convert it into more rolls because they're too long. Now the only problem is this diameter that we have here. Again, this is not going to be thick enough for that, for this style that we got right here. This is way too thick, so unfortunately that's not going to work. We're going to have to figure out something else and let these go. Okay, and the last and final thing that we're going to need, which I'm not going to be able to take today because that didn't come in the truck, is going to be a guide where the paper is going to run through, so that this is going to be almost like a stopper on the front of the cage, so that the paper slides through this section right here and it doesn't go out as I'm pulling it, because it is long. It's from one side to the other. The cages are about 25 to 30 feet if I'm not mistaken, so you got plenty of room where either seeds can fall forward or they can fall, the paper can fall as you're pulling it out. So this is going to be a perfect guide to run through that and stop that paper from going forward. Now I don't know if I should grab the thick one like this, which is about an inch thick, or if I should use this one right here, which is very thin. This one might be better. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. I got to come back and get these. Man, you guys are not going to believe it. Look what I found over here. This is pretty much what I need for the wall to hold the paper roll system. Now remember, I wanted to use those, but those are way too thick for this style hole that it has right here. So I need something thinner, and this might work perfectly. It's just not long enough. That is perfect. That's perfect. Now I just got to figure out how to extend it a little bit more, because I need this to cover more area so that that roll doesn't fall off. Now remember, this roll is going to be cut down the middle, so it's only going to be about 15 inches. Okay, that's cool. I think these might work way better. We can do something with these. Alright guys, so we're back from the local hardware store. I got everything that I need to finish the paper system, but like with everything else in life, there are priorities, and right now the priority is to get these birds all fed and change the water in every single one of them. This is the garage. If you guys have been following me, you know that in here was the original first aviary or bird room, but after I build the thing on the side of the house, I ended up moving all the birds over there, and right now what I house in here are the birds that are ready to be sold. So all of the birds that I hatch, that finish molting and are ready to sell, they come into this section of the aviary, or this section of the bird room, which is in the garage. And pretty much right now what I got to do is just feed these guys before I can start doing anything else inside of the other bird room. So let me get this done, and then we'll go over there and I'll show you exactly how it is that I'm going to finish the paper roll system. Alright guys, so pretty much finished cleaning the birds inside of the garage, and when I finished that, I cut the paper rolls. Again, please don't mind any of the mess that you see in here. We're in the beginning stages of getting ready for the breeding season, so there's a lot of chaos inside of this aviary. Remember, these rolls were 36 inches long. What I ended up doing was cutting them in half, so at 18 inches each one. So now we have enough here to cover. See, this is pretty much going to go like this, and these paper rolls are going to run right underneath the cages from all the way back there to over here. And then we're going to do the same exact thing on this side, but for this side I have to put a bracket that comes out of this section, comes out, and then the paper roll will be right here like that, and then it'll roll on that way. Now the other thing that we got were these little brackets right here. Now these brackets are pretty much what's going to hold that paper roll, but as you can see, they're not long enough. These are 7 inches. So what I had to do was buy this piece of copper tubing and open a small hole, put a rivet in it. Now it sits much longer, and this is what's going to hold the paper roll. So this is what the roll system looks like once it is installed on the cages. So all I'm missing is the last one down there. But as you can see, these are the brackets that I was telling you guys that I had to do, because unfortunately this window's here, so I can't put the rolls onto the window. So I had to release that bracket, or make that small bracket, and the rolls are perfectly aligned to go through the side of the cages. Now all I have to do is this side right here, and then eventually start working on the bottom portion of it, because to be honest with you, I don't want to leave trays on the bottom. I can, it'll be easier to a certain point, but it'll be harder in the long run because I have to eventually clean all those trays. So if I could just do another paper roll system, then all I have to worry about is cleaning the trays for the middle cages. This is the end result of what it looks like once you add the paper. The bottom roll still doesn't have it. I have to put the brackets like I mentioned down here. When I do that, these nests are not going to be in here. These nests are going to be up on the cages, but I have to set up the brackets and put the board so I can run the bottom paper and get rid of these trays down here. But at least the top 3 rows are completely done. This is what it looks like once it's finished. I'm still missing a couple things. One of the last things that I have to do is the stopper in the front, so that this paper system right here could run right through that little stopper, and it doesn't come out like, for example, how it did over here. See how it's come out? It's way past where it's supposed to be, so that's going to be a problem where it keeps coming out. So I have to put that stopper so it doesn't get out of its place. But this is pretty much the end result. These birds are going crazy today. Alright, so that's it, guys. This is going to be the end of the video. I'll eventually update you once I put the stopper on the ends and once I get the other one down there. And I'll do another video on that, but that'll be it for now. I have to start feeding all these birds and clean the mess that I have in here. So until next time, we'll see each other. You guys have a good one. Bye.